All right, bless up everybody. I'm now officially calling this meeting to order. Hoping that everybody is doing well as we get into today's meeting. I hope everybody is excited. And so over to Kashina as she prays the opening prayer.
Afternoon, everyone. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, Lord, we want to thank you for life, health. Lord Jesus, I pray that this club meeting, each and every person who attends will learn something today, Lord God, and not only learn, but we'll put it into our daily lives, Lord God. Implement it, Lord Jesus. Cover us under your blood. Keep us safe. In your name I pray. Amen. Amen.
Hold on.
Hi, Tariq.
What's up?
I'm not too bad. How are you?
For
Week 13. What's it,
I
man?
tell you, man. I
What's
tell you.
it?
Plus, we get a little rain in a Portmore too.
Yeah, it's raining where I'm at too.
All right, so let me just go into the welcome. All right, hi everybody. So it's my absolute pleasure to welcome you all to this week's Club Link Up. I hope you all are having a wonderful day so far, and if not, I'm sure this will change that. I would also like to thank you all for joining the live stream today. Our speaker today will make a special presentation on the topic financial management. I'm sure it's a topic that is vital for all of us, everyone who seeks financial freedom. I'm very interested in this topic, so I'll be listening keenly to whatever Mr. Phidd has to say. Plus, later on, we'll have hot topics with Chanoy and the crew. So, you know, things that get hot later. So, without further ado, let's get this started. I think it's Allison time to start the icebreakers. Allison?
So, hey guys,
Oh, you're there. Allison? All right, it seems as if our audio. All right, I'm going to share it right now.
so this week's icebreaker is quite simple. Very, very, very easy, easy, easy. We're going to do this crossword puzzle.
Are you
So
seeing
as
it
we,
clearly?
is everyone, I hope, yeah, I'm seeing it. I hope everyone is seeing it clearly.
Hold on.
Try to zoom it a little. So the first one, yeah, let's zoom it down a little. So the first one says, I go watch the football match now, can't talk right now. Which digital app we can use to watch the football right now? We don't know long talking. We go watch the football match.
Guys, you should respond.
Even this one, this easy, easy, easy one.
Easy one. How much
Easy.
words? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So a 9 letter word, guys. She's Shanoy.
Yeah, kind of answering. The next one is check how much your owe did you sell and tell me. Which app I can use to check how much your owe did you sell?
Just be clear, this is number
Come
2.
on, number 2,
Which
guys.
app? Which app you guys know? You can check. Wait, sir. Check how much you owe to sell and tell me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes,
Come see it.
Abigail. Yes,
But Abigail, sorry.
yeah,
Abigail, get it.
Abigail got it.
Mad.
April. The next
Number 2.
one. Yeah, I'm going to listen to podcasts. Which one of the apps you can use to listen to podcasts? Come on, I don't know the apps them.
Them no know. You look like them no know the apps.
I'm gonna have a crazy giveaway, But Jano, I don't know
Them no
mood
on the
right
credit.
now.
No on the credits.
Which one of the digital apps you can use to listen to podcasts?
Ark. No
Mm-mm.
April.
Try again, April.
Abigail gets it. Go
Yeah,
loud.
Abigail, go loud.
Just how go loud.
Abigail, I know your apps them though. Like that for you. Number 4 says, I'm about to watch Adelaide Sports from yesterday. So you missed it and you're going to watch it today. Which app I can use to do that?
Number 4 across, which is this one. Zoom in a little more.
Yeah, zoom in a little bit. 1, 2, 3,
6
4, 5, 6, 6 letters. See
letter,
there?
guys.
And yet you will get the G. No man. I don't like that this view now. Oh no 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 app
Them
them.
blank. This look away, man. I'm gonna tell me like.
Jano.
6 letters, guys.
Alright. Abigail got it.
Sure as I get them.
Like Abigail, like you will get the credit. Number 5. I gotta stream some music.
Stream some
Which
music.
app can I use to stream music? So if you didn't know, you never seen
When you
April. Come on, man. Come April.
when you're simple, man. Anybody can get on you. Anybody can get.
Simple, simple, simple. Easy, easy, easy into me. I go stream some music now. Which app is that? Come on, my people. Yes. Yes, it's the music.
How much left? 3 left. So number
Yeah.
6 across.
Take more pictures. Space is not a problem. Come for all of them will love take picture. Which app got you? Space is not a problem. No people. Come on, man. Yes, April. See the April?
Hello.
You finally get it. Hi. And number 7. It lets you know the latest happenings in news. Which app is that? that? It's
Yeah,
just
me
4
put it.
letters. Zoom it, zoom it in and see what's happening. Yes, it's a loop. Abigail, yes, it's a loop.
You'll get it again.
Me tell you,
Number
Abigail,
six.
no,
Number six, simple.
simple, simple, simple. Text me
Simple
right now.
one.
I have no Wi-Fi. Which app is that? I have no Wi-Fi, but you can still text me right now.
Fill in the blank. If you're not, you're slipping.
Come on now. Yes.
You're not bipping, you're
Yes,
slipping.
then you got it. If you're not bipping, you're slipping.
All right, so that's it.
Thank you guys for participating. Yeah.
All right, so next on the agenda, we have Shanoy.
Hi
Shanoy.
guys. every week me every week me showing up my fun. I love this for me at but hi everyone. I wanna do so like the all woman.
April second.
Hmm?
April second.
Hi. Give me a second.
Yeah, man.
Anyways, guys, welcome to another week of Hot Topics. You know, where we bring the latest news, latest happenings in the media, and we do a quick little rundown and we get to know views and opinions on these hot stories. Okay? So remember to some fire in the comments if you're not ready for these hot topics. Even though this week was filled with a lot of very sad, heart-wrenching news. Guys, I'm really praying for my prayer as gonna go in and out on our home, especially for our young men. Guys, stay pray. You hearing me?
You're breaking up a bit.
Hearing me clearly now?
Yeah, man. You're good.
Unfortunately, I'm working with the other network, so I don't know what that go already.
Oh gosh.
So as me say, may I repeat, me say, it's been a lot of sad news in the media since week, right? So I'm pleading to our young women to stay vigilant on the road. Stay vigilant, be alert always, and pray when you're not going out. So I'm ready for the hot topics. Again, I want to see the fire emojis in the comments. Big up Alicia, big up Allison, big up April. Let's get into it. So the first topic on our hot topic list is Quavo and Sweetie's elevator. Let me see. I'll go to the elevator fight. Let me let's see that in the comments there. Was it a fight or was it a tussle? Like
It was
was it a little tug and war?
no man. Why everybody saying that him abusing
Tussle.
her? Me no see that. Me no know. Me just see them a fight for the bag. That me see where you see Shanoy. The bag me see them a fight for you
But
know. So me want to know what in the
but girl, be
bag.
careful, you know. Be careful, man. Them saying in other comments that we are so used to like abuse that we can't recognize it.
No, when Lord of mercy. No, we
Lot
not
of
use
God.
that. But me don't know me she swing off him. The only no see that part there, must see like she
Me
tried
see she
her.
swing after him. Me see him grab the bag from her, and I go, I go talk.
Let me
I
know
go
is
lovers
what in
quarrel.
the bag. Because obviously at the bag they might fight for something in the bag. So they need to be know why at the
Yes.
bag. Mm.
So, based on a popular news source, a physical altercation between Quavo and Sweetie that reportedly happened before their publicized breakup has been caught on camera and was released by TMZ on Tuesday, March 30. The footage captures their fight in an elevator, which TMZ reported took place in North Hollywood, in Sweetie's North Hollywood apartment complex. Why? It rough on them. It really, really rough on them. And even though me here say them under some kind of violence, like when it reached the saw.
But me tell you why underneath investigation because everybody attack about him abuse her and blah blah blah. I mean I say, all right then, one look at us, I wanna get in but then again,
Then again, guys, we really don't know what's going on behind closed doors, Tatiana. So it's really something to look into. So we have Nikita Chin. What happened to the Nikita or Billy? We still get into that part. April said if he didn't see the camera, he would her up. Well, no, 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 going for them to chew. We can only
because
hope.
and you know why everybody dragging it too because apparently he's an abuser because him ex say him abusive. Yeah, me
Why?
that him ex tweet and I say, oh, everybody I say she was like people are saying it's not a big deal. Why are they covering for this abuser? He's abusive. So I say, and then you know,
My
sweetie,
God.
and then remember, sweetie or Saweetie or whatever anyone pronounce. I don't know, her tweet was like she was like, her tweet did kind of shady. So everybody I said, was he cheating or was he abusive? That's the thing. We don't know. So
That's weird.
that's suspicious.
That's suspicious. No, guys, it's a serious. It's really a serious issue, and I hope it doesn't span more than the lovers' quarrel. But again, we only can hope for the best for them. Anyways, Tatiana, next story, the champ.
So guys, Bro God blames entertainers for contributing to Jamaica's high crime rate. What I have to say about that, guys? I want to feel about that statement there.
Really and truly, I know the first way I hear this statement. May I hear this from my yada my say dancehall music contribute to violence in our society. And honestly, it may not feel like it's so black and white. Me honestly don't feel like it's so black and white. You can't there's more to actually it's a lot more than they are trying to
What me
pass
have to
on.
say though is, bro, gotta give me confusion. I thinking it's all about government badness and journalists. All of a sudden now, if I say it lead to crime, so what am when you did all about government badness and journalists?
What about when them did a run up and down with the dubs, Mr.
Explain,
Universe?
sir. Make
Is
up your mind,
me?
sir. Is that in your house? You can't be in and out of the house. What?
I can't like
Anyways, guys, so it says, according to the Star, Prime Minister Andrew Holness yesterday used the floor of Parliament to lash aspects of the country's popular culture that he says are contributing to the high levels of violence in the country. Holness said that entertainers often glorify violence in their songs and seek to justify their approach by saying they are reflecting society's realities. In our music and our culture, in as much as you are free to reflect what is happening in the society, you also have a duty to place in in the context. Holness said that you take up the AK-47 and turn it in a man head, that is not right. And though you have the protection of the Constitution to sing about it, you also have a duty to the children who are listening to you. That's what he said, guys.
But it all comes down who massacre. Where me I call name who or dancer entertainers I make music for. Them I make music for children.
But my thing with music though, it's an expression. People are making songs about realities where them live for. Nobody nagas it, so it naga pretty. Jamaican life is not pretty, especially for a person that is from the ghetto or the garrison or whatever. So when did expect they must sing them reality, but they not me no know.
I don't know. Andrew is a different
Cup of
kettle of fish.
You're very right.
Or a different cup of tea. He's a different bell. So that's not just Andrew. But what you guys have to say about it? I say Renard Raymond, tell him arrest and charge the entertainers and dancehall music. I don't know. Anyways, guys, Uber coming to Jamaica. Uber come kick with Antime and everybody foot. So according to Lou, and remember guys, download Lou for all the latest information and news stories. Uber, a ride-hailing giant in the United States, has announced plans to launch its services in Jamaica. The company on Monday invited people to sign up virtually as the app will soon become available in Kingston. Uber Technologies Inc. is a peer. Sorry guys, I'm feedback. Uber Inc. is a peer-to-peer resharing taxi cab, food delivery, and transportation network company headquartered in San Francisco, California, with operations in over 700 cities worldwide. Now, guys, do you think Uber will be successful in Jamaica? Let me know in the comments. Because honestly, they have been hit with some hefty lawsuits as it relates to their like fees and stuff. So how them are going to thrive in Jamaica is my question. And will they tailor them have to tailor the prices, their fees for Jamaicans, or else nobody not take them. But on the other hand, I feel like they will be a safer way to move around, because one, they are cashless, and two, passengers can rate their driver. So if me go on the app and say it's a driver and no manners him no good, we can almost weed out the bad ones already, So I want to say, hello, Cassiana?
I'm hearing you. But honestly, I don't know. But we'll see now. We'll see. Because I'm all for, new stuff and Jamaica elevating and all. But I think, though, a lot of people, because, Jamaicans, them all about them loyalty. So I feel like a lot of people have relationships with a lot of on-time people. So it kind of take a while to sway them from on-time or any other taxi service that they have to go all the way to Uber. So I think that's like a kind of be shaky right there. So, but other than that, me like Uber. So let me see.
If they tell her the price, it will only be to reduce traffic costing. Uber price strategy is based on distance, traffic, and demand for the ride. Traffic always in Kingston.
Exactly.
Sorry for them. April said Uptown got them. I feel like, you know, more Uptown people will go with that mode of transportation, especially because it would have come off of exclusives. You know, regular people can probably won't be able to afford it, but them can just get it readily available. Not hearing yet as
Uber, that one about is the distance. So I think that can be a plus as well.
yeah, Uber is an investment in the country, but they could have tailored the Jamaican companies to have features as Uber. I 100% agree. I agree. And even someone mentioned that we don't allow foreign companies to come in the country and just like get our food hot, you know, push with it, go above. We should already try, you know, like invest that innovative. Speaking of from London, we should always look to up our value, up ourselves, up our system. And people, technology I get advanced day after day after day. You just need, maybe like them should have done more research. They should have been ahead of the game from longer times. But again, our money and most Jamaican companies maybe not have the funds. Jamaican companies should have been tailored to have digital features a long time. We always wait on competition before we decide to improve. Facts, Abigail. That's right. That's facts right there. It's aimed at tourists, to be honest. They feel more safe with something familiar. I believe so too. I believe so. Great point, guys. Great points. Okay, so next thing on the list, Skilly new song from Mr. Yo. From Mr. I know, we didn't even know. But anyways, guys, the song was released on March 26th and Twitter was in a frenzy. We don't know Twitter people don't hold back nothing. From its trash, them I'm gonna say trash. From its good, them we give it its credit. But this song in particular, Skilly needs to be stopped. Why do this? Skinny producers them really listen to him song and say, you know, say this Figaro Road though. Yeah man, this girl Figaro Road.
No, like we really want to know why men.
Not hearing you, Tassie.
The song that basically saying that a bad man should love, and I was like, what's up? You really see that? I'm fine.
Tatiana? Not hearing you so clearly, Tatiana, but guys, let me hear another comments. Want to think about this. Why him do it, Alison? Fox, why him do it? No, you know, me not blame Skilly, you know. Me blame the producers. Me blame everybody in the studio who are saying, yo, this for Gar Road. Everybody in the studio, me blame. The person who, you know, sometimes, well, I'm assuming that them have to do like a couple listens before them actually send out the, but blame the person who mix and master the song. Why you do it, sir? Why you send this song come a road? Why? No, sir. It's serious, guys. It's very, very serious. And the last story is Nike sues Lil Nas X Satan shoes which contains human blood. Why? The video of some said producers want money. Producers out there will actually sit and decide not to produce because the art is not good. That's not true. That's a fact. That's the only way. only way they would have released that song, because that song, it just wasn't it. Just wasn't it. But not like no, he has some really good songs. Oh, but this one, cut it, cut it now. So Nike filed a federal trademark infringement lawsuit Monday against the company that released a controversial customized version of its sneakers in collaboration with the rapper Lil Nas X. The Old Town Road artist worked with MSCHF to release Satan shoes on Monday. The sneakers are modified Nike Air Max 97s decorated with a pentagram pendant and a reference to Luke 10:18, a Bible verse about Satan's fall from heaven. I cannot only say so much about this story, but the fact that these shoes contain 1 drop of human blood from all of the members of this controversial group is so them always it turns out them always like knock off these kind of brands or do these kind of customizations, and they always get them in trouble. Well, no, Nike hit them with a lawsuit. Nas X is such a troll as hell, no pun intended. I believe so. I like based on how he's behaving on social media, him not have a care in the world. Not one flying care in the world. But okay, guys, that's it for hot topics. Really enjoyed this little chance. See you guys again maybe next week. I think this is probably the final week of classes, so we'll see how that goes. But bye, guys.
Hey guys, so from you see me, it's time to introduce our speaker. So the speaker for today is Cory, the advisor, Phidd. So Cory have 5 years experience in the Jamaican financial sector, with majority of that time spent in the highly competitive banking sector. Throughout that time, he served as a business development officer, business banking executive, as well as a relief branch manager. Currently, he is a financial advisor with Sagicor Life Jamaica Limited, where he specializes in assisting persons to build out the protection phase on their wealth acquisition journey. From the experience gained in the financial sector, he is currently penning his first book. The book is geared towards helping individuals of all ages to understand financial concepts such as mortgages, investment, the power of insurance, and many more. The book was inspired by the feedback from his clients, colleagues, and friends that have benefited from his sound yet simple financial advice. It is that ability to simplify complex concepts that has pushed him to write a book that will share the wisdom across all barriers within our society. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome Mr. Cory Phidd, aka the advisor.
Hey, how you doing, guys? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Welcome, Cory.
Yeah, man. Thanks, Ravel. How you doing, man?
Doing good.
All right, great. So I was tuned in earlier for what was going on with our topics. There are a few topics that we have a little to say about, but we'll leave that for half here. All right, so we can jump into the presentation. Are you able to put that up for me?
Yeah, man. Tariq is working on that right now.
All righty. All right. So I too was okay, great.
Yeah, man, you can go on, man. Give us the backstory. I have some stories.
The backstory. No, well, the story as it is. I was once where you guys are now. I was a member at this particular club as well. Spent my university time in Utech as well. Was a member of the union, the works, school of business, sober rep at one point, the full works. But I'm not here to talk about all of that. I'm here to talk about get the money part, as you guys described, get into the bag You know what I mean? It's easy to get the bug, but how you going to keep it? That's what I'm here to teach you. Now, the information that I'm going to leave with you today is will be able to help you not only in your personal life, but it is scalable. So this information will allow you to be able to manage yourself, but it will also enable you to be able to manage a business from a micro business to a large business corporation. So let's kick it off. Of course, you know the name. This presentation, I kind of rephrase it to let you know that it's about financial literacy. So yeah, man, Robert, you can just switch over. All right. So I always do a little bit of housekeeping as it relates to questions. Feel free to kind of just reserve the questions for the question and answer section, because I'll go through the presentation relatively quickly and smoothly. Also, we're in the age of social media, so please go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I leave information there on a daily basis that may be useful to you throughout the course of your life. So, yeah, that's the housekeeping section. I think is completed. So let's jump into exactly why we are here. All of us are here to get some information or knowledge on how to become better financial managers, not only for ourselves, but for whatever business we enter into. So that starts with a little thing that I like to describe as financial literacy. Now, a lot of us understand the word literacy, and we know that from where babies, 3-year-olds, they're forcing, well, I wouldn't, let's not use the word force. They encourage us to read. They try to teach us how to read, right? And then they say you're literate. You're able to read and write English language. But the reality is we also need to learn how to maneuver the financial, not only the financial sector, but our personal finances. So why not allow us to become financially literate? Now, in a small way to define that, I normally I've redefined it in a sense to say financial literacy really boils down to just having the skills and knowledge that allows us to make informed and effective decision as it relates to our financial resources. All right. So you can go ahead, Ravel, and skip to the next slide. Right. So when it comes on to, so as I defined it as having the skills or the tools, if for those persons online, if you're looking at the screen, you would see two images. So let me just ask a quick question. Which one of these future that do you want to create for yourself? Right? I'm not able to see the YouTube live chat, but
No problem. I don't know if you want my feedback. What we
sure, go
sit on
ahead,
and
man.
speak. Well, it's not a hard decision, because
Not hard, right?
obviously, and most
Right. So
definitely, it
yeah,
would be that particular one there, that one right there on the the left hand side, because they
yeah, the
look
left hand side
nice,
of the screen,
attractive and thing. Yeah, man.
pretty house, architectural wonder, right? Right. So of course, all of us want to create the best future for ourselves. But house on the hill, pull chuck off. Yes, we all want to create the best future for ourselves, right? And how will we do that if we do not have the right tools to build this house that we now want? Now, if you realize the house on the left seems well designed, well constructed, it seems as if it had to be created by somebody that knows what they're doing, a proper professional, correct? But the house on the right seems like, yeah, I mean, probably a madman created it, right? So it just shows that without the proper tools and the proper skill sets, we cannot build the beautiful future that we want to build. And financial literacy, financial management skills are what we need. Those are the tools that we need to get to that beautiful future. Irvin. Right. So is there's a little thing known as the importance of income, and I typically ask, but I already know the answers. When I ask persons, why do you work? People will tell me all kind of fancy things. Oh, just to provide for myself. Oh, I want to provide for my family. I want to have financial security. I want to improve myself. They say all of these wonderful things, but it all boils down to one simple thing. All of those things require money. So at the end of the day, we all work to get money. But there are two ways to earn in in my opinion, there are two ways to earn. So when you move to the next slide, it will tell you that there are two ways to earn, and one is working for money. So working for money is what majority of us will start doing. You're trading your time, your skill sets, your resources in exchange for payment. So for money from your employer, right? Now that is one way, but there's also another way in which you earn and then you put that money to work, so you have money working for you. There's also a third way, but I know we are all ambitious persons here and we do not wish to beg and depend on charity to survive. So we'll throw that one in the garbage bit. So let's focus on these two. On these two ways of earning money, there's risk involved. Typically, most persons believe that the risk involved is only with working for money. The previous slide, Ravel, is only with having money working for you. So in having money working for you, most persons understand that you invest. Now, with investment comes risk, right? So that's one of the main risk to money working for you. Things like what happened during COVID with the economy. But there's also something else that you must consider. The risk involved with you working for money. The reality is, if you're going to forever work for money, the reality is you do not have forever. So there's a limited time. Death will happen, right? You must also remember that there's just not enough hours in the day. The reality is if we get paid per hour, we want to work for 24 hours per day. Every hour counts, but that is just impossible. And also, we must understand that if you are sick or critically ill, you won't be able to trade your time for money. Hence, that's a huge risk as well. So let's move to the other slide and we'll say, what will our decision be? What will we do? Will we only work for money? Will we only have money working for us? Or will we do a combination of both? Now, this is where financial literacy comes in and understanding risk management. So you see, now you have a dilemma. Now you have something to think about. And I'm now going to equip you with the tools to effectively get through this. So on the next slide, we'll go jump into how do we manage risk? Because right now, risk is the biggest factor. So yes, we want to manage money, but what impacts money? Risk. So we must learn to manage risk if we are going to safeguard money against this threat. Now, how do we do this? Today, I'm going to show you just two, right? Two ways to effectively manage risk. One is to, first, understand the importance of insurance when it comes down to risk management. And the second is simply to become more financial literate. Now, what do we mean when we talk about risk management and insurance, right? Risk management is where you now accept that risk will happen, but how can you, one, either alleviate the entire risk, so we get rid of the risk overall, or if we can't get rid of the risk, how can we reduce the risk, right? Or reduce the impact of said risk. So, of course, as per definition on the screen, you would say it is the forecasting and evaluation of financial risk together with the identification of procedures to avoid or minimize the impact. So the reality is risk will happen. Risk exists. We can't always get rid of it, but we can find ways to mitigate against it. Now, what is insurance? Typically, when I ask persons what insurance is, most persons jump to the whole idea of, oh, it's that financial tool, you know, the one that you buy, life insurance, health insurance, car insurance, you know. So if something happens, I get a payout. Now, that's one form of insurance. That's insurance. That's one definition, but I kind of make it very simple. So let me tell you what insurance really is. Insurance is anything that provides you some protection against a possible eventuality. So let's make it very relatable. We all watch movies all the time, right? And when we're watching most of these movies, somebody goes into the bank, right? And they rob the bank. But they take hostages, right? Now, why did they take hostages? They took hostages as a form of insurance. Now, what insurance is that? The robbers know that once the police or the police forces come and they're still inside that bank, if they're in there alone, there's a high probability that death will occur, right? Now, how do they mitigate against that risk of death? Is by holding hostages. Now, these hostages ensures that the police forces comply as best as possible with their demands. Now, most of us probably wouldn't have thought of that as insurance, but that's what I'm trying to show you. Thinking widely about risk and how can we mitigate it is really what this is about. So the robbers, they identified a risk, and they've identified a probable way of reducing the impact of that risk. Until next time, my brother. So, well, I'm not seeing the side changing. Right. So, in understanding risk, we always hear things like the wise man builds his house upon a rock. Now, that is him identifying that there's a potential risk of flooding. Therefore, you must find more solid grounds to build it, or high grounds to build this real estate, right? So that brings me to something known as the financial planning pyramid. And this is something I want to introduce to you very quickly because it shows you a relatively safe way to accumulate and protect your wealth. Until the next slide, you'll see that pyramid. All right. So if you're able to see this pyramid clearly, you'll notice that investing is not the first thing on the pyramid, meaning from the base up. The first thing that they're telling you is not to go out there and invest, jump into the stock market, jump into speculation. No. The first thing they tell you is protection. Why is that? Because the foundation of the house is very important. If you jump all the way to you are now just going out there with your financial resources and your first idea is to go ahead and invest all of these resources, you're effectively putting the roof on the house before building the foundation and the walls, right? Now, some will say that it's impossible to hold up. Some will say, well, maybe I can just have a crane hold it up and have a roof over my head same way. At the end of the day, yes, there's a roof over your head, but is it an effective roof over your head? Does it provide you with the stability and the security that you require? No. So here's how we fix that. How we fix that is by forgive me. All right. How we fix that is by ensuring that we build out a proper foundation. And in that foundation, we put things in place that will help you to keep the wealth that you create. So for example, one such thing, they say save, right? Save consistently, save. They also say insurance. Remember, I told you about the importance of insurance when it comes on to risk management. Now, why they say insurance is because, say, for example, critical illness insurance. If you get extremely sick, right, where you can no longer effectively trade your time for money, you will not be getting paid, right? But life still goes on. You still have a mortgage to pay. You still have car payments. You still have kids that need to go to school. How are you going to meet those demands when there's no earning, right? Plus, you still have to think about the fact that you're critically ill. You're trying to fight an illness. Now, critical illness insurance is that protection that you put in place in the event that you get one of these critical illnesses. Because if you do, the policy now pays out. You now have money to help you to fight the illness, but you also have money to take care of your day-to-day expenses. That is what you call smart planning and foresight, right? Because remember, in risk management, we must forecast the potential risks. We must think way ahead and think, what are the potential risks to this particular thing? So in our case, the particular thing is my ability to trade my time for money. Me working for money. What's the potential risk? Illness. Let's put something in place to take care of that. But also, if we move on to the other slide, I believe it will speak something about us redefining wealth and budgeting. Right. So remember, I said that you must save consistently and effectively. The reason why we ask you to save consistently and being able to save consistently is a good way against, is a good form of protection. is because it creates what what is known as an emergency fund. Now, when you develop that pool of funds, the emergency fund really refers to a pool of funds that you can go to in the event that you're no longer able to work and you have expenses to meet. You can pull from that pool of funds to meet those expenses. So in order to effectively do that, you have to learn two things. One, we have to redefine wealth, and we have to understand budgeting. Now, persons normally say to me, say, yeah, I understand how to budget. But a lot of persons are not effectively budgeting. Right? Now, it seems like a very simple and probably a task that you can overlook, because budgeting is so simple as just splitting a page in two, writing expenses on one side and writing income on the other side. Seems way too simple to be a sophisticated financial tool, right? But that's what most persons do. They forget that this simple task is kind of a keystone task that you must learn in order to become very financially prudent. Because if you do not know what you're earning, or if you do not know what is your expenses are, you will not effectively know how much you have to invest, how much you have to save, or what do you need to adjust in order to be more financially efficient. Correct? So if we skip to the next slide, I was saying that I use to kind of help persons understand budgeting. And it's a very simple saying. It means you can't bring it in with a shovel, with a spoon, and spend it with a shovel. Now, our foreparents were very wise, very smart, very financially wise if you really look at it. Because this simple saying is basically the whole concept of budgeting. Bringing in the money is the income side. Dashing out the money is the expense side. Now, if the income side is coming in with a spoon, means it is smaller than the shovel that you're spending in, you're going to end up in financial crisis. Now, people, again, I said people underestimate the power of budgeting. People underestimate the power of budgeting, right? So this, I want everybody to remember this. Can't bring it in with a spoon and spend it with a shovel. This will help you, trust me, fundamentally in your life of how to manage your funds a little bit better. So let me give you a scenario. Skip to the next time, my brother. Right? This scenario is going to help you with whole redefining of wealth, right? So when I speak about wealth, most persons think, wow, that person has money. If I say Rovel is wealthy, everybody thinks Rovel have money, right? But it's not about how much money Rovel have, It's about how much of that money he can keep, right? So this is how I redefine wealth now, not as how much money I have, right? But wealth is now redefined in relation to your expenses and time. So basically what I'm saying is, if Rovel is supposed to stop earning today, how long can Rovel go meeting his current expenses, maintaining his current lifestyle without having to go find a way to earn again? Now, in answering that question, some persons will say, boy, just 1 month. And next man will say 10 years. So in essence, the one man will have 1 month worth of wealth and the other will have 10 years worth of wealth. So now you see where this is going. This at this point, this does not say how much money I have. At this point, I have not asked, does the person A have more money than the person B? No. I've asked, how long can you maintain yourself without working? Now let's go to the scenario. And the scenario outlines it very well, where it shows two individuals. So on side A, Robert, the slide hasn't changed. So all right. So on side A, you'll have what you call a simple, maybe a contractor. Yeah? And on side B, you have wealthy businessman. Clearly, my money at the open of the year. Wealthy. But if you read through the scenario shows that both individuals have been laid off by a company. Right? And they've both been given, and this is oversimplifying it, by the way, but they've both been given $1 million each. Right? So both persons lose them job, and both persons get a payout of $1 million. Right? So now we get to the situation where we say, all right, person A has a monthly expense of $150,000. So on any given month, he spends approximately $150,000 on expenses. And person B has expenses of approximately $300,000 per month. Who is wealthier? In a very simple way, you already know the answer. You already know that for the $1 million going to stretch further for the man with the least amount of expense, right? Now, what does that go? That now this brings me back to the root of what we said. You can't bring it in with a spoon and spend it with a shovel. So now this $1 million came in on this spoon, but at what rate is it being thrown out? Person A is throwing it out at a slower rate. So in essence, he brought it in with a shovel, but him throwing it out with a spoon. On the flip side, person B brought it in with a spoon, but he's showing it out with a shovel. So this scenario should help most persons to understand the importance of why you need to sit down and clearly identify what are my expenses versus what is my income. And then you'll be able to better look at it and visualize that. Listen, am I being person A or am I being person B? All right. And to the next concept that we want to define and pay some attention to is a lot of time persons will say to me that, oh, they really need to invest, but really and truly what they need to do is save. Or some persons will say to me, boy, I think we just need to go and save because I'm saving a lot now and I just need to keep saving. But really and truly they're at the point where they need to start investing. So clearly a lot of persons haven't identified or haven't fully understood the idea or the difference between saving and investment. So I thought in order to be financially prudent, you must understand this as well. Because as an individual, you must know when you need to save or when you need to start investing or when you need to go heavier on investment versus saving. But also if you're running a financial institution, not a financial institution, any institution at all, any business, you must also know of these reserves. How much of this do I know invest or how much of it now stays as reserves or savings? So again, the information here is very scalable from an individual to a corporation. So let's dive into it. As you will be able to see on the screen, sorry, you skip Rovel. Back to the table, yes. So as you'll be able to see on the screen, saving is simply putting aside money for use at a later date, versus investment is the acquisition of assets that are expected to bring you additional earning. Now, everybody likes that one. Everybody enjoys the idea of investing because I'm making more money. I'm making money work for me. You understand? I'm putting money to work. But here's the thing. When it goes down to this small table now, where I'm just showing a few differences, persons say, yeah, man, I need to invest. I like the idea of earning money. But when you explain to them that, do you know that there's risk involved? Do you understand that by investing, there's a probability or there's a chance that you may lose some of your money? This may not happen, but the probability exists. Now, once they hear that, they now jump into this. No, I am not able to do that. Then, my darling, if that is the case, you should be saving because you have not yet reached a point where you are ready to mentally take on the task of investing. So with saving, of course, there's very little to no increase on the returns on your principal. Now, if you save in a financial institution, the interest that they pay on savings is usually less than 1%. It is ridiculously low. So there's very little return on your money is there. Also, if you save it under your bed, under your mattress, which is not recommended, that is even worse. No money not increase there. So you're more likely to lose money to the ants and probably roach that going to eat it. Now, with investment, there is a simple saying. The greater the risk, the greater the expected return on your investment. So if the risk is high, you're expecting a high return. If the risk is low, please expect a low return. But the key term here is expected. You understand? It is not guaranteed. It is not what must happen. It is a matter of what can happen and what you expect to happen. Now, to save, you really need no specialized knowledge. Hence the reason why even children, babies, see, you teach them how to save. Put the coins in the piggy bank. No specialized knowledge required to save. But when it comes down to investment, it is highly recommended that you invest in things that you know. And if you do not know, you go to the people that know and get recommendations from them as to how you invest. Now skip to the next slide, and this is where we go explain, break it down again so that everybody understand. Our four parents were smart. This is what I'm saying now. They said to me, one cocoa full basket. Everybody knows this. Everybody knows a one cocoa full basket. And this has been taught to us repeatedly. So basically, we have all been taught how to save. Because from your crop of goods, you take one cocoa and you put it down. Eventually, you'll have a basket full of cocoa. So that is you putting aside resources for future use. That is savings. So I have now expanded on this saying. So you probably heard it here first. I've expanded it on this saying to say one cocoa full basket, but remember to plant some. Now in planting some, that is the investment. And this is the key part. When the farmer takes these cocoa and they decide to go in the backyard maybe, and then go and plant some cocoa in the backyard, there's no guarantee that this cocoa going to become a cocoa tree and even bear fruits. So what does he do? He then goes into risk management. But as the farmer, we never describe it as this. Here's how he manage the risk. If it is dry time, he ensures him water it. So he protect it against the risk of drying out and dying due to thirst. Right? If he knows that there are insects in the ground, he buys pesticides. So he protects this investment from the danger of being eaten by insects. Now, if he knows that there are goats and cows in the area, he might fence off his farm. Now he's managing the risk of goats and animals coming to eat his crops. Now, when the fruits, so see, even the farmer understands risk management. You know? So now that he has employed risk management and some level of insurance, he now goes to the next level where he says, okay, let's guide this thing to becoming a tree. Now, when it becomes a tree, even at this point, he does not know. What does that mean? This is now taken into real investment realm. You know? Listen now. He has taken the risk of planting cocoa. So he expects a return of cocoa from the cocoa plant. But he's not guaranteed this return. So even when it becomes a tree, he's there waiting and hoping, right? Based on the fact that he has mitigated all of the risk. So he has increased his chances of getting cocoa fruits. No, it bear fruits. But him still have to worry about man come teeth it. So you see, he now has to put in security measures as a form of insurance against people, against theft. So in that scenario, it shows you from stage to stage how he's managing his resource, right? So he has no managed resource and he's now getting so now he has two sources of cocoa. One set of cocoa from which the original source, and he's now getting cocoa from the investment that he has made in his backyard in planting some, right? Let's move to the next slide. Right. So this slide is the wrap up. But before we jump to the wrap up, I just want to say that I really want persons to think about how simple these things are, but how potent they are, how powerful they are, right? Because these simple sayings very easy to remember, but they are so packed with information, right? That if we really think about it, it is going to give you the tools that you need to become a bit more financially literate. No, we don't have the time to dive into the full range of these things that I have available, but those will be in the book that I'm currently putting together. So now let's look at the wrap up. Let's wrap it up. How did I explain the power of which saying do I think best describes the power of insurance when it comes down to risk management? It is simple. Don't be penny wise and pound foolish. Now you may wonder why am I saying this? What is important of this? Being penny wise and pound foolish is like you saying, I am not willing to spend the money today to purchase the protection against a probable outcome in the future. So in essence, you're saying I'm not going to spend my $5,000 a month to protect me against a possible $20 million loss in the future. Now, that is very stupid when you put it as that, right? Why not spend pennies, as my grandparents would say, twopence today, to protect you against pounds worth of expenses in the future? So when it comes down to understanding insurance, the power of insurance when it comes down to risk management, don't be penny wise and pound foolish, right? Now, when it comes down to saving versus investment, we just run over that, right? One cocoa full basket, but remember for plant some. Now, on the next slide, it speaks about budgeting and redefining wealth. Again, another one that we spend some time on. Don't bring it in with a spoon and spend it with a shovel. So if you remember these three key things, these three key sayings, you literally remember my entire presentation today. And not only that, you will also literally equip yourself with 3 tools required to bring you closer to building that financial future that you want for yourself. That beautiful home at the start of the presentation, these are some of the tools you need to get you there. All right. So on to the next slide, I have some recommendations. So let's talk about recommended reading. Again, I like to keep it very simple. And one of the simplest books to read, and even to listen to, it takes literally no time, is Rich Dad Poor Dad. Most persons will hear this over and over. I mean, everyone that has any knowledge of finance or anybody that wants to improve themselves will tell you they have read that book. It is powerful. Also, another very powerful and potent one is The Richest Man in Babylon. Now, the information in The Richest Man in Babylon is so potent and so powerful, I believe, because the scenarios painted in The Richest Man in Babylon are actually scenarios that took place thousands of years ago. But the value in those scenarios still hold true to today. And you'll wonder, centuries have passed, how is this information still relevant? It's because this information is true. And the third one is one that I personally would recommend, is The Power of Habit. Now, this particular book kind of makes it very clear to you that you can design your own habits. You can actually eradicate habits that you have that are not conducive to you achieving the goals that you want to achieve. So understanding the power of habits is one way in which you can help yourself to become successful in life. All right. So questions. We're at that point where we want to, if there are any questions, you can just throw them out, Ravel, and I'll answer them as best as I possibly can.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm gonna allow Marisol to go first.
All right,
Yes,
so
to money.
all right, so firstly, I saw in the chat that somebody wanted to know, is it possible to get insurance post critical illness?
All right, so this is a technical question, and the answer is yes. It is possible. However, a decision must be made as to whether or not the insurance company is willing to take on the risk. Now, the risk can be taken on with the exception of the critical illness that you survived. So, if, say, for example, it was a situation where you had cancer, you survived cancer, you decide that you want to purchase critical illness. After analyzing your case, the company can decide that, listen, we will insure you for critical illness with the exception of cancers. You follow?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so it's really a technical situation, but it is possible. If we're just looking at possibility, it is possible. But each person's case may be different.
And depend on the risks, or how much of a risk it is.
Exactly. So is it a situation it may return? It really, are you at risk for other critical illnesses? What's your family history? So it's a lot to dive into, but strictly speaking, it is possible. However, each person's case is different.
Okay, great.
So, Cory, what has been the most significant financial advice you've ever given, and what was the outcome?
Whoa. To be honest, as it relates to financial advice, given my time in banking, so I've been seeing pay slips to financial statements, and in just over that time, I've probably advised a lot of individuals as well as business owners as to moves that they can make. But I don't think I have a winner in that sense. What I'll say is that generally my advice is very tailored to the individual and what I'm looking at. So based on the information that is there, I can tell I normally advise based on that. So for some persons I would say get more aggressive. Some persons I say hold off, do this, clear a debt. It's really no big winner there. It's just a matter of each individual situation is different. And I try my best to analyze each individual situation and see how best we can get them to their goals. Because that's the next thing. I can't advise somebody if I don't know where they want to go. You know what I mean? So that's it, yeah.
All right, so it's dependent on the situation that your client is in then.
Yeah, and what that client's goals are.
All right, so somebody's asking, what realistic actions can a university student take right now to start their journey to financial freedom?
Brilliant question.
Yeah, again, this is so you're forcing me to know generalize, and I will. To be honest, at this point I hope or I wish that when I was in university I had access or even greater access to individuals like a Cory Phidd. The reason being is that the information provided does allow you to take advantage of things that it's better to take advantage of them while you're that young. So say for example, life insurance for one. When you're 23 or 21 is ridiculously cheap, right? When you get 30, the same value that you spend $5,000 for is not the same value you get. You know what I mean? So 5,000 at 23 is greater than 5,000 at 30. You understand? So information like that. Also, one thing that actually I learned this in university from one of my lecturers, and he would always talk to me about the power of compound interest. And I never fully understood it until until I became a financial professional myself. And you must understand that what you have is time. Time is your advantage, right? So you must use time to your advantage. And you might think, but what I'm earning now is small, or what I potentially have now is small. But a drop of water that consistently drops can dig a hole. You understand? So you must understand that consistency and time is your friend. If you can put on $500 a month, put it down. You understand? If you can put on, it doesn't matter. Consistency and time, because time is not your friend.
All right. So, you want to say something, Ravel?
Yeah, man. I want to ask a question.
Sure, man. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, man. So, Cory, I know that you would have shared in terms of you being a financial advisor, working at the bank and all of that. But there must be some experience that you have gone through in life that would have prepared you to be where you're at now. You want to share, like, you may not go in depth, but like a little to show what would have pushed you into this direction.
For sure. All right. So sometimes when you're younger, you do not understand the power of small actions. You know what I mean? All right. So for example, when I was in primary school, my mother would give me my entire lunch money from Sunday evening. Now, for a child, that is a huge task, because you can't simply go to school on Monday and spend it all off. But my reality is that if I ever do that, I will not have any lunch money for the rest of the week, but I would still have to go to school. So from an early age, I learned that, listen, if you're supposed to spend X amount of money on a daily basis, that is what you should spend in order to make it through the week. So simple things like that gave me an understanding of financial responsibility. But not only that, growing up, I also had a lot of chores. And I grew up in country, so I had goats, chickens, the works. Having a responsibility like that kind of taught me discipline as well. And discipline is key in being financial in financial management, right? So things like that gave me discipline, because I had to wake up every morning, tie out the goat, them feed the chicken them, but I had to do it every night as well. I imagine coming in late in the night from like quiz training, because I was a member of the quiz team at that time, and you still have to go with your flashlight into the bush to get the goats. You know what I mean? So it just those kind of simple, very simple, simple things. As I took them at the time, I never necessarily enjoy all of it, but it was simple things like that kind of taught me discipline. You know what I mean? And it works. It works. Understanding these things and just understanding that. Listen, you don't necessarily you want to be financially free, knowing that your goal is financially freedom, and you want to be financially able to take care of yourself and your loved ones. Having a goal in mind and working towards it is one of the key things too in helping you to become financially better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, thanks for that response. And I'm pulling two key things from what you said, which is quite important. You said in the first part about you realizing that you have the money for the week. So you know the risks that are involved in terms of,
Exactly.
say, to spend it. So you're understanding the risk and you say, boy, I don't want
Hmm.
to spend too much. And then the
Right.
next thing was that you mentioned discipline and consistency. So
Right.
those are very powerful nuggets that you shared.
Right. And even going back to getting the money for the week, you have to know him. So as you rightfully said, let's break it down based on what I would have described earlier in the presentation. You identify the risk involved with you having all of the money at once. What is a suitable mitigant? Left the amount that you don't need a yard. You understand? No, no, that is the mitigant. That is you managing the risk. Because if you don't have it, you can't spend it. So that's what I did. Every day I take up the amount that I need to go to school and I walk with that. You understand? Until over time I was able to, without even thinking about it, manage all right. So again, identifying the risk, finding a suitable insurance or mitigant against the risk is very important. But even back then, from then I was saving too. I was just every day I made it a point of duty to bring home something. Yeah, I mean, if it's $5.
So you think that's a principle we can still apply in the sense where, for example, you set a budget to purchase, for example, something that is you consider it a need. You think it's
Hmm.
important that, for example, say you're going to purchase the product. You think it's best for you to carry the exact money so that you don't overspend or you end up go over your budget.
Well, each individual must know their strengths and weaknesses.
True.
So for me, I sometimes overspend. That is normal. That is human behavior. But the reality is, you must know your strengths and weaknesses, and you must then figure out what works for you. You know what I mean? If you know that you're going there to buy X, but if you have the money, you're going to buy X, Y, Z, and A, B, C. Yeah, left the rest of the money you had. You know what I mean? Yeah.
All right, so somebody's asking, what do you suggest persons invest in, particularly university students?
I knew this question was going to come, and I will tell you this. All right, when it comes on to investment advice, I do not do that wholesale. Yeah, what you're investing is really based on the individual needs, where the individual is at that point in terms of their risk appetite. It really depends on the available resources that the person have. Do they understand the importance of investment versus savings? So what I'm saying, all of that to say that it requires a sit down with the individual and identify what your goals are, what your risk appetite is, and all other factors before I can say, go ahead and do that investment. So I'm not going to give you a wholesale general and say, go buy that. No. But of course, what can be said wholesale is that most persons in Jamaica are now very aware of the stock market. And given what has happened during COVID, they're also very aware of the potential risk involved. And as such, I believe persons are far more educated, are probably more knowledgeable about that form of investment, to the point where persons know once they say investing, everybody thinks stock market. But I want to clear up that investing can be you buying a taxi. You know what I mean? Investing is, as I described earlier in the presentation, the farmer planting a cocoa. The reality is, if you're going to use resources now, and allocate them with the assumption or with the intent to gain further resources from that spend, that's an investment, right? And I want persons to understand that. So if you're going to now buy some material and a sewing machine and decide that you're going to design clothes, that's an investment. Your university education is an investment in you because there's an anticipation for potential gain because of this degree or this education that you would have received. All right? Good.
All right, so somebody's asking, is it wise to take a small business loan at this time given the financial situation in Jamaica?
All right. So this I can actually speak on with some level of surety. I was also a business banker, as you would have probably remembered from the introduction. No, when I was doing while I was a business banker, right? The reality is I have to analyze it. You don't just get, well, if you're born from a commercial bank, you do not just walk in, I want a business loan and you get it. No. You have to do a full analysis. Right? Now, if during the analysis I now realize that this, and by the way, before I even get into that, persons tend to go to the bank for money to start up businesses. And I must make it very clear. The bank is not in the business of starting businesses for you, right? Because you must understand that the bank is lending you its members funds. And the bank is not intending to take on the risk of a new business that is way too risky. There's not enough information available about a particular business that will give the bank any confidence. As a matter of fact, there's no history of the business because it's new. So hence the reason why banks tend to lend to existing businesses, because they can now look at the track record and say, listen, year over year, you've been earning at this rate. Based on these projections, we can assume that you're able to not only afford the loan, but you can also grow the business. Are we looking at the management team? Is the management team seem capable of managing the business and these new allocation of funds? So, in going to answer the question, is it prudent to borrow a small business loan? Information is key. Knowledge is key. What is the business that you're going into? Have you done even a small feasibility study? Have you looked at the market? Have you said, listen, this will work? How do you know that it will work? What kind of information gives you confidence that this is going to work? Have you put the systems in place to ensure that it will work? Understand? Because remember, you borrow those funds, you will have to repay them. And if the only form of repayment is from this business that you intend to start, yeah, that is somewhat of a recipe for some form of disaster if you don't have the right information available to you or the proper guidance. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think my final question would be to you, Cory. Now, I noticed that at the first part of your presentation, there's a little graphic that I guess advertise you as a superhero of someone possessing the ability to, give financial advice. So I realized that would have been one of your approaches to market yourself as a financial advisor. But what are other approaches you've been utilizing to market yourself? Because I see you out there, I see you doing a thing on LinkedIn, on Instagram. So how else would you try and market yourself?
Oh, so we're looking at, okay, so it's a marketing club, so
yeah, man, you have to leave some marketing.
Let me put on my marketing degree at. Yeah, man, when it comes on to, remember, when it comes down to marketing, it also impacts. So one of the main things is credibility as well, right? So my credibility is already out there given my work history and so on. So that in itself is a marketing tool. Also, the reality is me pushing myself as some form of superhero savior. That was actually the idea of my graphic artist, in terms of, I told him that, listen, this is what I want to portray, and he gave me that graphic. And I really love that graphic because it really shows that, and what does it represent for me is really hope, because that's what heroes represent, hope. So you might think that you're in a financial spot that you can't come out of. Come and talk to Cory Phidd. Come talk to Cory Phidd, because I am going to help you. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to save, help, and elevate people. You understand? So really, that is the message that I really push when it comes down to even that graphic. I'm really here
Mm-hmm.
to help people. I'm here to
Yeah,
help
man.
each person build wealth, not only for themselves, but for generations to come. Because I strongly believe in generational wealth. And if as a country we normalize things like leaving proper inheritance for the next generation, it will be a lot easier for the next generation to move forward and to increase the levels. I know that. So you're university students. Some of you can think about it, and you're probably the first person from your family to enter university. Or even so, not even that. You may have other persons that have gone before you that have inspired you to now take the step. So that's what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying. Build wealth, no, but remember, you're building that wealth for generations to come, right? So in terms of the rest of the marketing tools, of course, I make myself very accessible, so you can reach me through all these mediums. I try to make as many mediums possible for persons to reach out to me, because I understand that access is very important when it comes on to what I do. Right?
Mm-hmm.
People really want information. I want to make the information available for them. I want to push this financial literacy as best as possible. Of course, I come and do things like this, but these are
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily the same marketing. It does increase visibility, but this is really how I believe I can impact society by giving
Yes.
information, especially to the younger persons, so that they are
Mm-hmm.
better informed to make decisions, and get them kind of ahead of the curve,
Yes.
right? So I do a lot. I make myself available for a lot of things like this. Of course, one thing I also do when it comes down to accessibility, I do have links available on my social media that you can actually just click and schedule a meeting with me.
Oh, nice,
What?
nice.
Yeah, man. Go ahead, click on it, fill the form. The information comes to me. I call you back, we schedule a meeting, right? So I do things like these. Customer service is a big part of marketing for me. Well, it's a big part of what I do, and I guess strictly speaking, marketing is a part of marketing for the marketing students. I know about after sales service.
Mm-hmm.
Big, very important part of retaining clientele. So I
Mm-hmm.
do ensure that I am available all times to best service my clients. Because again, I can't say I come here to save people and not help them.
True, true. My follow-up
Yeah.
question would have been to like, what are some key services that you offer?
All right. Right. So key services. So currently I am with Surgical Life. So
Mm-hmm.
primary function now is helping persons set up their protection for say life insurance, your critical illness insurance, some
Mm-hmm.
investments, some savings. But because of the value added is that you're now speaking with somebody with the wealth of knowledge from banking as well, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
can help you navigate that sector as well. So if you're my client, that's a value added for you. That's a bonus
Yes,
for you,
yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But again, primarily life insurance, critical illness insurance, retirement planning, very important, and estate planning, of course, investment savings.
Okay, sounds good, man. Sounds good.
Yeah, man.
Well, Corey, you've dropped a lot of nuggets in this particular session, and the YouTube link will always be there for persons to
Oh,
revisit,
good.
to watch, and to take notes and everything. So it has been really good, and I'm now going to move the voter tanks actually because we've spent quite a lot of time and we're trying to, minimize the screen time because we've been
Hmm.
using Zoom and everything, online
Yeah.
classes. But as you know, FMA always try to do things differently. So we
Mhm.
want to reward you with a virtual certificate, which you will be getting in your email as well. This is a
Yeah, man.
show of our appreciation for you taking the time out to give back, to impart the knowledge that you would have gained through your professional and personal experience. And I'm
Mhm.
sure that persons would have benefited today. We are grateful. Maybe in the future they'll reach out to you again for some other tips or encouragement. But we do greatly appreciate it. I've also taken the opportunity to find that book, one of those books you recommended, and I've
Yeah, man.
shared it with
Good.
my team as well. So we do appreciate it, and we are grateful for you being here today. So thank you very much, Corey.
Yeah, man, you're very welcome, man, and thank you too. Because as I said, this is a part of passion for me. I really want to keep sharing the information that I have, especially with persons that have not been exposed to it, persons that don't fully understand it. I really want to keep sharing the information so that you are better equipped to build that future that you want to build for yourself.
Yes,
Yeah,
so
man.
true, so true. All right. So that's it, Cory. So we'll stay in touch. Candice and
Yeah,
Burn,
man, for
impromptu
sure.
meeting. Yeah, man. So
All
take
right,
care.
no problem, man. All right,
All
cool.
right,
All the
take
best.
care.
All right, thanks, man.
Total.
All right, guys. So yeah, man, it has been a very interesting meeting. I think we all learned something here.
Don't it? I
Yeah,
did.
it was, and I like his method of teaching was really different, and the use of the proverbs, how he aligned it with with the whole topic of finance. That was really good. I've never seen that method, that approach before when it comes to finance. So that was really good.
And it wasn't like he was giving us too much information. It just flowed and it was just simple and nice. Right, Shania?
Facts, facts, facts. I feel like I'll message him right now and talk to him about the little business on the
You
little
should.
business from
You
that
should.
try operate.
You should. You should. Yeah, man. So, so guys, elections. Kashina, what going for elections?
Man, them was squanning. All right, guys. So the flyer is out, and the nomination period is from March 29th to April 5th. So I did kind of go into details about it last week, but just to refresh you guys' memory, if you're interested in a position, you will click on the Google Forms link, fill it out, and you will have to be nominated by two persons. Also, if you see somebody who is fit to run for a certain position, you can nominate them as well. You just have to get an ex-member to nominate them as well. So you get somebody else, fill out the form for them, and then we'll contact them and see if they agree to run for the post or not. So guys, remember to fill out the form. April 5th is right around the corner. I know some of you
Mm-hmm.
guys, I don't know if it's hiding and I say, all right, me just pop up on Kashina or pop up on Rovel. I don't want them know say me I apply until now. Guys, send in your applications as soon as possible. April 5th is actually Monday. This
Yeah,
Monday
Easter
comes
Monday.
deadline
Yeah.
for
But
application. So you guys
I,
need to send in your nominations for the different positions.
yeah, I want to encourage them too that it's always good to take on positions such as these because you get to you get some experiences that you would not necessarily get as a regular member. You won't get it as a regular university student. So once you step up to this position, you get to learn how to manage your time, how to work with others, how to network as well. You get to meet different people. If you can see the amount of persons that we've gotten to come and speak to us on different topics, you get to interact with different persons with different backgrounds and you get to understand how the industry works. And trust me, once you get out there in the working world, whatever you'd have learned from being a part of FMA as an executive, you can take it out there and it will give you the edge basically. So yeah, man, as it says, a rich experience awaits. So yeah, man, you can take on the experience.
Right, and if you guys have any
Right,
questions about
Marisol?
position,
Yes, sir.
if you have any questions about any position at all, DM us, ask Ravel, me, Marisol, Shania. We'll be happy to help you guys. So just DM us and we'll give you a response.
And
And I would
guys, oh, sorry.
no, go ahead, Marisol.
No, man, I was just going to tell them to come out of their comfort zone. They're not going to achieve anything in comfort zone. You only achieve things when you come out of it. So make the move. Make the move.
Right, bet on yourself. For the entire semester, for the entire year, we have been teaching you guys this bet on yourself. That is you are your most valuable resource, so bet on yourself. Don't underestimate yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, you guys are really good persons and you're qualified and I see the potential in you guys. So just sign up or reach out to any of the execs, and we'll be happy to help you guys. I was also, somebody actually reached out to me, and I was also telling her to look at the different executives for this semester, for this year, and just look and see who suit you, which position suit you, which one do you think you have Marisol's personality, or do you have Shanoi's personality, or mine, or Rovel, or Javis? That is a way to look at it, because trust me, each person personality fits the post that they're in. They work well with it. So just look at the persons and see if you have similar traits to them, if you're not sure where you should go.
But I guess that's something I'm
All
gonna
right.
remember, honestly.
Hush, hush. Close the eyes and open your eyes again. Maybe that works.
All right. Um,
Discord.
yes.
Remember Discord?
Rovel, did you drop the? Did you guys get the register?
Yeah, man, the register was
Yes,
sent.
yeah.
Okay. And I'm asking you guys. A link will be sent in the group. It's already there, and I think
Yeah.
Tariq is sent here to click on that link and join the group. Trust me, enough vibes over there. So enough vibes, enough giveaway, music. A bag of things are going over Discord, FMA group in a Discord. Click the link and join it, guys. We're waiting on you guys to join so that we can give away what we have to give away and continue with our little vibe over there. So we know it's exam time, we know a lot of persons stress, we know sometimes you need something to debunk and relax. Just go over there, click on the link, and you'll have a fun time over there. So
Yeah,
the
man. Yeah,
link is
man.
coming.
Cash, how many more meetings you have?
Next week is our last official club meeting for the year. The
It's
academic
been a
year
great
Um,
year
2020
now.
2021.
Oh
Next
my
week is our last,
God.
guys.
It's been a great year, to be
So
honest.
I mean that we were the
boys,
first
keep up a
exec.
buzz. Don't do that, Candice. Don't do that. No, now go
If
give
you're
way
not
over.
bipping, you're slipping.
Give way over
Or it's
the
like it's
big
free
group.
now.
Myself, I be one going to the big group and say giveaways and nobody don't answer me. Me I say no man. These people don't want anything over there. Join the Discord group, guys. But yes, next week is our last week. I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel.
It's very sad. Oh my God. It's been such an amazing year.
I feel like I'm gonna go 2 more months still, like, or another month.
Wow. But even though it's our last meeting, we still have exquisite to do, and trust me, you guys are
Mm-hmm.
going to enjoy exquisite. So just look out for that. It's our last club meeting, but we have exquisite waiting for you guys.
We'll try and bring on some
Definitely.
entertainment next week. We'll try and make it like a bang as you put it.
As bang as it can.
So Katrina, why you IG get a note?
Tasha got broke curfew.
I mean
Tasha got
easy and easy.
watch you. I mean, no seniors. Tasha got Panavilla flex.
Look, I'm counting down. Trust me, I'm counting down. I count down, yeah, man. Final year, almost there, almost there.
Oh boy. Okay, guys. So I feel like I feel Joining this meeting kind of make me get emotional because I know that
Oh,
next week we'll be going to one I'm joining. So thank you guys for staying with us, sticking with us for an entire year. We really appreciate it. We know that sometimes it's hard to click on a link and log on, and you guys have gone above and beyond to continuously come here and support us and learn. And I love the fact that you guys are learning and you are growing so much. You process the information. You're not just here just listening and it come through one ears and going through the other. So I'm happy that you guys are here. It's unfortunate that next week will be our last club meeting, but we're looking forward to seeing you guys. And yeah, see you guys next week. Remember to sign up your nominees for election. The due date is on Monday.
Monday.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye, everyone.
Bye.